Hello, everyone, and welcome, my pagan friends. It is that time of the year. We are headed towards Mabun, which is this weekend, the fall equinox. Samhain is just right around the corner, which is Halloween for those who don't celebrate Samhain. And what better way to celebrate is by reacting and watching to Agatha All Along. Now, I mentioned this in my trailer reaction video that came out probably about a month ago at this point. So if you haven't seen that before you want to watch that, you want to go check that out, link will be in the description. But I mentioned in there that some of the expectations I have for the show, I really loved WandaVision, and I know that this is a sequel series to that. So I don't know how much of this show will actually touch the overall multiverse, which I know a lot of people don't like because there's a lot of disconnect between the different Phase 4 and Phase 5 projects, obviously besides for a handful. But I think people need to remember that, when you're establishing these worlds, you have to do smaller things and build out the world more before you can touch some of the high concept stuff. I guess you want to call them that. Either way, I am excited for the show. My expectations for the show is just going to be just this fun little reconnect with Agatha and just kind of see where she is. Like, how long has this been since the end of WandaVision? Is it right after? Is it a few months? When does this take place? I'm sure we'll get a lot of that answered. And exactly what is the witch's road, and how do the others fall into her plan? And really who the villain is. We don't really know who the villain is of the show, so I'm really interested to see. But without further ado, if you like this type of content and you want to see more reactions of the show, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on a new upload. Alright, so let's go ahead and get into it. Seekest thou the road? That's new. I don't think they've ever... I love this style of cinematography. The more realist, basic ones. This style of cinematography... Sorry, I'm talking film aspects. This style of cinematography is my style. Although mine would be a little bit more handheld, but it is like this style. Also, they wouldn't have coffee cups. They wouldn't bring food to a crime scene. It's just a thing. Oh, the blackened fingers. I think that's supposed to be Wanda.
Where were you last night between the hours of 1 and 3 a.m.?
I guess I could run the book title.
This is... I guess it's not a deep cut, but the way Agatha is portraying this character specifically feels like it's ripped off of Amanda from Smosh, her character Sarah Christ. It's what she kind of sounds like to me. It's really funny.
Was everything destroyed?
Every last copy.
Faster. Strength in numbers. Teamwork makes the
Eat
dream.
my ass, Chief.
I'll leave you to it then.
That's a crazy line to say. I think if I remember correctly, Rio and Agatha are former partners, like lovers.
What's a cowrie?
Sea snail. These hotties here, it's triple goddess. Maiden, mother, crone.
That's it's an imagery in a lot of pagan beliefs. You have the Norns, the Nornir of Norse mythology. You have the fates of Greek mythology, and obviously, this is specifically in witchcraft. So it's pretty interesting. This is also a parallel draws to Ahsoka, the three Night Sisters that were on Peridia, are also derived from the crone and all that stuff like that. It's actually interesting because I actually started writing a script a few years ago that was sort of along this lines. It was very mysterious and horror-esque detective trying to solve these murders. I never finished it, but it's on my script list to finish. But this is exactly how I imagine it, so it's pretty interesting. Great minds think alike, I guess. Nicholas Scratch. I'm assuming that's... Well, Nicholas Scratch was the name, Senior Scratchy or Scratch or whatever was the name of her familiar, her rabbit, whatever, in WandaVision.
Can I ask you something?
Yeah.
Do you remember why you hate me?
Yeah, I know who you are.
Well, let's talk about you then, you little dirtbag.
I don't know!
Tell me what happened to
What
her!
are you talking about? These are just flowers.
What? Whoa. That's interesting. Oh, and Rio's gone. Would those really be unlocked at like 4 in the morning like that? I mean, I know there's like a night shift for morgues and coroners and stuff like that, but would the door just be open? Unlocked, I guess? So she destroyed all versions of the Darkhold. Oh, she's going through her phases of WandaVision. Notice the coloring has changed, which means she's broken out of whatever she was in. What? Nudity? That's crazy.
Catch me up.
About 3 years.
3 years?
3 years?
That, wow, actual butt and MCU. Let's go. Just adding her to the mommy cinematic universe. Can I say that?
And that means...
Oh, jeez.
You're vulnerable.
Only physically.
Oh, oof, the knife in the hand thing. Oh, I mentioned that my Wolfman breakdown, how that just, oh.
Admit it. You prefer me.
Horizontal? In a grave?
Oh, not what I was thinking. The chemistry between them is just so, I don't know how to explain it. Erotic? I don't know.
And it beats for you.
It is Bisexual Awareness Week, I think. So, let's go buys. He's still just sitting there.
Oh, right. You.
All right, so let's go ahead and talk about the first episode. I really liked it. I think what I like most about these types of shows is that, yeah, I think really the only thing you could have watched was just WandaVision. Like, if you just watched that show and maybe Doctor Strange too, you don't really have to watch anything else to watch this, and I do appreciate that. They do a pretty good job of sort of catching you up with Agatha and like where she's been. But we did get confirmation, so it's been 3 years that she's been in this kind of delusion. So that sets this in like 2026, like in the MCU timeline. Because if we think back to Endgame, that was in like October-ish, maybe September-ish of 2023. And then WandaVision takes place 3 weeks after that. So late October, early November is when WandaVision takes place. And then from there, we know that Doctor Strange takes place probably Christmas of 25, because they do talk about Spider-Man in that, and we know that takes place before Christmas of 2025, and also Hawkeye's there. Presumably it's probably early 26, maybe late 26, but it has been 3 years, which is crazy to think about. I think so far this is the furthest along the MCU timeline has been with this show, but let's talk about the overall aesthetic of it. I do like that they're using like this true detective, Fargo, dark, like I mentioned earlier in the video. They're using these reference points. I think there is a specific show this is parodying, but I can't think of it off the top of my head. I'm sure someone who has more time to do a full breakdown on this, like New Rockstars or Screen Crush, will probably allude to that. But I know what it is. I think it has Kate Winslet in it. But again, I'm not 100% sure. It's just so great to see Catherine Hahn back as Agatha. I thought she was the highlight of WandaVision, as well as bringing back a lot of the supporting cast from WandaVision as well. It's nice to like see them back and have this sort of role in it. We did see them get introduced like one at a time throughout the episode, which I thought was really nice. Something I want to bring up is that Herb, the neighbor, he mentioned, so they know who Wanda is, obviously, because Wanda let go of her spell of Westview back in 23. My biggest question is, like, have they been feeding into Agatha's delusions? I know they alluded to that in the show. She's like, you guys just been going along with it this whole time, blah, blah, blah. So it is interesting that they just went along with it. And then we still don't know who this kid is. He's only been referred to as Teen. But like the biggest fan theory is that he's playing Billy, or like a version of Billy, Wanda's kid, but just grown up, who is Wiccan in the comics, and as well as part of the Young Avengers. Wait, do I have the Young Avengers here? I have that comic book. I wonder if I have it. It's somewhere. I can't find it right now, but he is Wiccan in the comics. But yeah, overall, I mean, I think it's a solid episode. I think it's a great reintroduction to this side of the MCU. We don't fully know about Rio yet, if she is the villain. They did mention the Salem 7, which I'm not familiar with. I think the Salem 7 are just like a coven that was in Salem in the 1690s, whenever the witch hunts were at their height. So I would be curious to see if we get like actual names of them. I think one of them is Agatha's mother, because we did see them in WandaVision in a flashback take away Agatha's power, but she reversed it and took all of their power. So I'm curious if they're the same people, or at least maybe a different coven that has existed since the 1690s. Either way, we still have another episode to watch, so I'm sure we'll get a lot of some of these questions at least answered in the next episode. I do appreciate that Marvel, well, I guess Disney, they release these either like at 2 episodes or 3 episodes, depending on this, because like I explained with the Alkalite, that was written by TV people. So, it's harder to watch week to week, or I guess it's easier to watch week to week. But with things like this, you kind of have to have this kind of 2-part premiere to really kind of get the full like first arc of the show. Because if this was all we got this week, I would be really like clamoring for more. So yeah, but like overall, I did enjoy this episode. So if you have any thoughts, any theories about this show, go ahead and drop them in the comment section below. As always, my name is Jorvik, and I will see you in the next one.